Today I'm bringing another 10 3DS games you should pick up before the eShop server closes, so let's get into it. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ty, and today I'm bringing another 10 3DS games that you should pick up before the eShop server closes. Now this video is for both anybody who is looking for 3DS games to play by any means or looking to collect. Almost everything on this list I will do my best to give prices for. In terms of physical, anything you see on screen listed price-wise will be its physical price, or there is one eShop only game on here. You know, I'll have that. I'll mention that price and I'll have it on the screen too. So yeah, let's just dive right into it. But actually, before I do that, I just do want to say that thank you so much for all the support on the videos. It means so much to me. I always say it, but I truly mean that I love reading and responding to all the comments. It's fun. If you want to keep up with me and all my other content, we're starting a little bit of an active community in the Discord, link in the description, along with my Twitch and Twitter. So yeah, feel free to join that. With all that out of the way, let's get into number 10. And now this isn't in any particular order of value or anything. This is just 10 things. This is just a 10 list. So nothing here is like, this is more now, get this one now over this. That is not what this is. So here at number 10, we have what I would like to call like the 3DS era games. Hopefully I didn't double up. Some of this might have doubled up, but I tried my best to make sure I did not double up compared to my last video. This is really any of like the things that Nintendo, this is like the Switch era 3DS games is what I call it. This is like these are games like Metroid Samus Returns, Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, Luigi's Mansion, remake, I don't know. Basically anything that Nintendo themselves made and put on the 3DS and published and put on the 3DS. A lot of these games are at least MSRP. Some of them, like Luigi's Mansion and Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, which are the two I would personally go for if you were to go for any of them right now before they keep going up. Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn is like $80-$90, maybe $70. Luigi's Mansion can run you about like $60-$80, maybe $40 if you're lucky. So yeah, those are probably, if you were to ask me what I would get first, I would honestly prioritize those because those are Nintendo games. So probably the most important to a lot of collectors. Also, all of these are available on the eShop and other means if you just want to play them. At number 9 here, I try to avoid most Atlas games, but you know, sometimes they just gotta slip in because they're so important. And I would say Persona Q 1 and 2 definitely are very important to be on this list. I do not think these are getting ported anywhere. They are 3DS, probably going to stay on the 3DS. Maybe we'll get a Q3 on the Switch. I kind of doubt it, but it's not out of the question. They're very keen on Persona Q1 in my opinion. I mean, there's even a special 3DS for it. So take that what you will, what that'll inflict the future value of it. I'd say Persona Q1 is about like 40 to 50 and 2 is like 80. So both like 60 to 80 for Q2. The collector's edition for Q2 is one I would look out for. That one's price is kind of everywhere. It didn't do too great because it was a very late 3DS title. But yeah, these are 3DS staples. They're, like I said, hard to see them going anywhere. It's not impossible, I don't think, but it's hard to see them going anywhere. Also, Atlas is doesn't seem to do a lot of their titles on other, moving their titles around. Everything seems to always just stay on whatever originally released on. So yeah, at number 8 here we have Tales of the Abyss. I'm not I've tried playing one Tails game and it wasn't my cup of tea, but Tails has proven to be a popular series. It has, I don't even know how long it's been around for, but Tales of the Abyss I think is the 8th installment in the franchise. It's a remake or port. I don't know what you classify these, because it's not really like you're upgrading it, but it's not a port. I don't know. But this is from my understanding. People seem to really like this game, and this is also an increasingly expensive 3DS game. I'm not sure the price off the top of my head, but it's probably close to like 60 to 80. I don't see that going down. It's hard for me to see them redoing this game. But it's I mean, everything's possible. But this is another notable 3DS title that I think a lot of collectors need to get more aware of. Whew. At number 7, every new Nintendo 3DS game. When I say new Nintendo 3DS, I mean new Nintendo 3DS, like the actual system. There is only 4 of these physically that I know of in North America. There's Minecraft, obviously. There's also Runbow, Xenoblade Chronicles, and Fire Emblem Warriors. That's it. If you want an order of what I would say to pick them up, like which one you'd prioritize, probably Runbow and Xenoblade. Those ones are probably gonna run you about 30-40 each at the moment. Minecraft is about 20, and Fire Emblem you can probably, if you're lucky, get it for 10, if not 10 to maybe 20, somewhere probably closer to 15. It's not hard to get a copy of Fire Emblem Warriors. But yeah, and why I say all of those ones excuse me, is because there's 4 of them, and that is technically its own system. Very easy to complete. Probably one of the easiest consoles to complete a collection for. So, excuse me, had to drink some water. But as I was saying, it is a super easy system to technically complete. Technically, it shouldn't be on this list, but they're pretty much the same system. So yeah, I recommend going for all 4 of them if you want to say, oh, I own every 3DS game, and a little asterisk new 3DS game. I'm planning on doing this soon, hopefully before the prices for them get too crazy. I know Xenoblade Chronicles has been ticking up, and Runbow isn't super common, but I think you can find copies online. Whew. Up next, Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. This game is actually, look at my list, probably like second most expensive game on here, maybe the most expensive. This game will probably run you about $100 to $120. Why I put this one specifically is because, okay, honestly, it seems like Professor Layton might be kind of dead in the water as a franchise. However, Phoenix Wright is not. Capcom seems to at least have interest in keep on bringing the Phoenix Wright and the Apollo Justice games onto new platforms, and I'm sure they're probably working on a new one. It's a notable IP from Capcom, and Capcom seems to recognize that. So I recommend just getting this game just for the sake of that. This is probably not getting ported anywhere. It is a very unique crossover. Crossover games in terms of value can, I personally feel, really up something, because they don't really seem to happen all too often. So, and these are also both at least have cult following franchises as well, if you're concerned of value of physical games. So I would say get this while you can, while it's still in the 100s. Okay, up next is actually the only eShop only game. It's called Pocket Car Jockey. Some people may have heard of it. It is a very, very weird and unique game by the creators of Pokemon, well, by the developers of Pokemon, Game Freak. it's a combination of like strategy RPG and solitaire and horse racing, and it's cool. I don't really know how else to describe it. That is literally like the base by base thing I can really tell you about it. If you like weird games, there you go. This is probably not getting a port. I feel like it would have gotten ported by now if it did. I'm pretty sure this is like $8 on the eShop. Go get it. Just go get it. It's cool. Up next, number 4 here. I didn't even actually intend for this, but Super Street Fighter 4 at number 4. This is a game I got on my 3DS digitally for like Christmas, like 4 or 5 years ago. No, not 5 years ago. Oh man, it had been like 7 or 8 years ago. I picked this up because it was really, really cheap, and I had an eShop card, and I don't really regret it. It is a very fun little Street Fighter game. It's odd from what I can remember from it. It's been a while. I didn't really put it on here for say just because it's fun. I put it on here more so that's unique. I mean, Street Fighter 4. I think this was a launch title for the 3DS, or a very early title at least. I think Street Fighter 4 had already been on other platforms, but this version is definitely a downgraded version, and a very odd version. There's a lot of characters, like if I'm not mistaken. A lot of the content is there. There is content to this game. This is not just like a rushed out port. There is care into it. So if you are a fighting game fan, a Street Fighter fan, I mean, even if you're not a fighting game fan, you don't like all the combos and stuff, too much memorization, this game is still for you. It is not that difficult, comparatively, because it is on a 3DS, to be fair. They didn't go all crazy. They weren't planning this being the competitive scene, but it is cool, worth checking out. Probably about like $20. There is a cool lenticular cover, if I'm not mistaken, like a slip over cover. I think it is lenticular. I don't know how much value that'll have, but though sometimes those can increase the value of a game. Okay, at number 3 here is a game that not a lot of people talk about. I myself hadn't really heard about it until one of my friends, his name's Adam, he has expressed a lot of love for the game, and it's kind of made me want to pick it up. It's called Stella Glow. It's published by Atlas. I know I said Atlas games are kind of self-explanatory in terms of value, but this is just published by Atlas, actually. If you like from what I can understand, if you like Pokemon Conquest's gameplay, or really any turn-based tactics games, but the whole layout really reminded me of Pokemon Conquest. It was the only thing I can really compare it to. But if you like Fire Emblem, but the characters in this are not like knights per se. There's a lot of, I don't really like comparing it to this, but there is a lot of anime aesthetics to it. So if you like that, this is definitely for you. It's very colorful. It's a very nice looking game in terms of the art. The graphics aren't in themselves bad. It's a 3DS. For 3DS games, it's very on par in my opinion. But the art style is beautiful. I don't think this will get a port for sure. I think that the developers of this have closed their windows, sadly. Close their windows, I don't know. They went bankrupt. There we go. That's the greatest way to put it. So yeah, it's sad, always sad to hear though. But it's kind of an underlooked 3DS game right now. You probably get it for $40-$60 physically if you want it. That might not be the case in a month from now. So if you want to collect more Atlas games, this is one that is less talked about. For Atlas games, a lot of people right now are focused on the Persona and the Shin Megami Tensei. They are not looking outside of that. They probably will soon. Up at number 2 is Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight This game's price is kind of like everywhere. I don't even know if I'll put one down. It's like you can find it for 40, also find it for 100. It is kind of everywhere. No one seems to know a price. I think it's starting to kind of settle towards like the 70, 80 range, which isn't too surprising. I put this here. I love Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight is one of my favorite games ever. It just hands down a great game. And this port of it, I think they had it on sale in the eShop for like a couple cents at one point, and it is fun. I don't think it's like Treasure Trove. I don't think it got all the story expansions. I think it might just be Shovel Knight. I could be wrong. But it is a very unique version of Shovel Knight. You can play it in 3D if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure, and that's just something no other platform is going to be able to give, at least in the moment. Maybe one day when the Nintendo Switch 3D XL comes out, we'll be able to play Shovel Knight Treasure Trove in 3D. I doubt it, but the 3D capability is at the moment exclusive to the 3DS, and it is nice. It's a little nice thing. Otherwise, there's nothing too crazy about this game, but it is a kind of rare 3DS game if you're into that. This is not how I would recommend playing Shovel Knight, just because it has that cool 3D feature. I definitely recommend it picking up on your Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, literally anything else but the 3DS, but it is unique. Number 1 is Shantae and Pirate's Curse. I believe that's the title. This is probably the most expensive game on the list. This game is like 140, 130, 120, somewhere around there. It's a rare 3DS game, and Shantae has had a long history on Nintendo platforms. This game is not exclusive to the 3DS. However, Shantae fans, they're like Fire Emblem fans, they're like Zelda fans, they're crazy, they will buy anything. So even if this game is ported to a million other platforms, the 3DS one will always have some sort of value. If you're like, this is definitely a value game. There are, I think, other ways to play this game, probably better, but it's a pretty similar story to Shovel Knight, where it's unique, it's on 3DS, do I recommend it if you really want? If you're looking to play this game just to play it, you probably could go somewhere else to do that. But in terms of collecting, you probably should get this one now while it's still cheap, because some of those Shantae games are kind of crazy in their price. This one included. So yeah, that's 10. Another 10 3DS games down. I can't, there's not too much to say here, it's just the market in terms of the 3DS games is going to get crazier and crazier as we continue closer to the eShop closure. So get them while you can, I guess. What can I say? Pick what you think will keep its value, and try to hold off to what you think will drop in value. On this list, if you're curious, I don't think anything here will really drop in its value. Maybe Street Fighter 4. That's about it. With that all being said, thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. Again, as I said in the beginning, if you want to keep up with me, Discord, Twitch, and Twitter in the description below. And until next time, play Street Fighter 4 on 3DS so we can get it at EVO 2023, baby.